This is Ghostlore. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is really quite great as well. And yeah, what are we getting here? Well, it's a 4K resolution at 60 FPS. How do I know that? Well, it's literally an option under configuration. You get to choose the resolution. You can also make it full screen or not if that's your sort of thing. But yeah, they can you get the option to go down to 30, or you could just do 4K 60. That's totally up to you. So it's kind of cool that that is present. But you also get things like, you can adjust the frame rate higher. So there's a target frame rate, there's a VSync, UI scale, you can do like a loot filter. So there's actually quite a few different options for customization, which is something you don't always get on the console side of things. So that's kind of cool, and a graphics quality toggle as well. So kind of nice, really, to have that sort of choice there. I think it's really intriguing that this game even offers that sort of thing. So good for that. Good to have that sort of option. So this is like a ARPG, they call them, action role-playing game. So sort of in the vein of something like Diablo and similar games. And you could play it alone, or you could play it locally with up to 4 players. And it's kind of a cool, procedurally generated sort of thing where you're fighting off these varying enemies across these differing environments with a selection of different classes, skills, and abilities. It can be a bit difficult and whatnot as well, but there is actually a lot to enjoy in this one in terms of like personalization for your character. And also just like classes. There's the Adept, which is like Mystic Warriors. There's the Exorcist, where you can do evil spirit type stuff. The Feral, Fearless Fighters, bestowed with the power of blood magic. And you can transform into a were-tiger. There's the Geomancer, masters of the art of bending elemental forces of the earth. The Hahashin, shadowy assassin. And the Sentinel, keepers of the forest, with the ability to communicate with animals. I have noticed like the glyph system type thing though. I find it really hard to like kind of pick and interact and use them, but yeah, it's kind of a interesting sort of system that is implemented in this one, because the glyphs kind of adjust certain powers almost like on the fly, I would say, as you pick them up, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's neat because the world, it's just sort of like, it's very different when you go about it and when you go and play. So it's always different, and they took a lot of inspiration from specific regions, Malaysia and Indonesia, and some of Southeast Asia, in regards to the visual influences of the design of the world and stuff. So kind of a cool thing. That's what I'm saying, is like the glyph system just seems a little like semi-awkward for management. Oh geez, you gotta back out and kill these guys. But yeah, you get very simple kind of abilities. You can see them hotkeyed there on the bottom left, and then you're, picking up these glyphs, and you're kind of managing your abilities. You're gathering XP to improve yourself, to be able to kill stuff a little bit faster. I wanted to show off the back button area there, but there's quite a few enemies, so we're gonna have to deal with those before doing that sort of thing for sure. Otherwise, I'm going to, get killed while I'm doing that. Nobody likes... Well, not everyone likes to see me die. So yeah, we've got our glyph system with sort of like locked stuff, and then you've got simple glyph, so 9% accuracy, and then we got something like, basic attack increase, so let's put that glyph on there, and that's kind of how the glyph system works. But it seems like it's a lot of like, I don't know how to describe it, just like the management of it just seems a little harder to deal with in regards to like usage and everything like that, but it's intriguing. Definitely is. So you gotta like manage your skills, and there's some equipment stuff. But yeah, it's neat. It is neat. It's a different sort of thing, and it's always good to have different types of games and their concepts. So we talked about the procedural stuff, the classes. There's like an endless kind of mode thing you can do. The local co-op with 4 is nice. There is modding support too, for further like customization with mods from the community. That's like right there in the menu. I don't know if it's in this menu. No, but in like the main menu, there's like a little mods area that you can, kind of use and take advantage of, which is kind of nice. And yeah, there's like an asynchronous sort of like multiplayer thing too in this one. So that's kind of intriguing, and yeah, it's a neat sort of game. It's something you kind of know and are familiar with, but they've done some different stuff with like the concept of like gameplay, and you know, it's got like a neat sort of like pixel-esque aesthetic, but you know, there's environmental impact things like, you know, interacting with fire, and it's neat. And I'm sure there would be like, you know, some complexity to like say the builds you create and the tools you set up, the glyph system adjustments. Yeah, you got like little boss things too. It's an intriguing title, needless to say. It was one where I was kind of playing it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm curious about this. Because obviously, you know, we get a number of similar type titles these days, and it's nice to have like something a little different. Thank you for the homing compass. It's just what I've always wanted. And I could return to the seaport. Right on. That's what it's all about, guys. Going back to the seaport. Actually, how are we doing out here with this? Okay, let's not get stuck in there. Back to the seaport. This is like your main little area of chilling out. Yeah, it's an interesting sort of thing. There's a lot of kind of depth to it, so we can buy like health potions. But I think we actually have like a lot of sort of health potions going on. Shield of insulating. Yeah, okay. The quiver of prosperity. That's what I've always wanted. Plus 5% avoidance. Yeah. Just avoid everything in life, right? It's the easiest way to live. 28 to 51 basic attack. So that's kind of better than what we have. So yeah, you get different weapons, different tools. And you can do like glyph. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, like a good amount of like density to it, and a good amount of like items you'll come across, and you can sell stuff and improve things over time. I don't think I do the quiver stuff. I'll get rid of the old sword. And yeah, you just kind of make money, and you know, you do your day-to-day, and you do your all like quests and stuff and your goals. And I mean, you know, it's something, like I said, you're probably fairly used to gameplay wise, and it's just yeah, it's interesting. Oh, fellow ghost hunter. Let's talk to Nadir, the inventor. Hello there. An achievement. Blah 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 blah. Board the boat. Alrighty, let's go. But it's sort of that concept that you love, done in a way that is like sort of simplistic, I guess, in some concept, but they do something unique and different with it, which I think is awesome. And it's so nice that it's like, you know, procedural, which is almost sort of expected with these types of games these days, but the proceduralness of it does keep it like nice and random, so that when you are going through it, if you do choose to do multiple plays, it is at least a little bit different each time through. Oh, this is really neat. And then a wide variety of different enemies as well, which is awesome. So there's lots of different things you can kill, and you get to improve your skills in lots of different ways. And your character, by the end of whatever weird adventure you end up going on, will be completely different from what others have made. Holy, that was kind of crazy. Oh, and I guess the influence for the aesthetic of this one was 90s era video game retrograde graphics. Oh, over 40 different enemies, and yeah, it's just kind of like a neat thing I wanted to kind of showcase, because I was playing this and I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat, you know? It's always nice to come across something a little bit different to kind of present and go over, where it's like, oh, if you like, you know, the whole Diablo type thing, you might find this one to be kind of a cool side addition to your collection. Anybody else want to die next? Yeah, but it's just like, it's hard to get these like glyphs kind of like selected when they're out there. I don't know why that's the case. You gotta keep those health potions going. I really wish I had some different abilities going on. Get back here, you giant boar. Yeah, you almost have to be like standing still there. Cool, and then we've got our modifiers and our skill bonuses and everything like that. The Adept is what I picked here. Second class. Pressure bolt, warp combo. We could do lightning, project a psychic shield. Applying a effect will rupture all enemies in a distance. Force pull. Pulls enemies inwards is what I've always wanted to do. Press enemies towards myself. It is neat that you get to kind of select everything, though. You know what I mean? Like, you actually get to, like, adjust your skill setups, and you get the new abilities at higher class levels. Is there anything else I needed to adjust? Lore log. Attack damage set up. We got the glyphs going on. Any new glyphs? Plus 10% accuracy. I don't know if that helps a whole lot. Skill damage. Okay, why not? Minion health points. Oh, well, I don't really have a swarm of minions that I can, you know, sort of interact with. I don't know if that's going to help me. Oh, wow. I don't know, it's just like, I like the simplicity and the style of it. It actually seems pretty fun and easy to play, right? That's sort of what makes, I think, Diablo so interesting as a concept, because, you know, when you play that game, it's like kind of simple, quick command options that you choose, and the real dynamics of games, you know, like this, like that other one, are that you create these more dynamic class layouts and setups that allow you to take on the various foes and enemies that are present, and, you know, you just grind through large collections of them, and it's very, very quite satisfying as a gameplay loop, obviously. Otherwise the genre wouldn't be so crazily successful as it is. A shield. Great. I mean, we might as well collect what we can, then, you know, we can sell it and make some good money, right? And they definitely do seem to have, like, the story aesthetic that they're going for, so that's another nice kind of option there. It's kind of a weird ability. It just does, like, sort of a circular kind of thing here. Oh, we got him. High fives all around, guys. That's what we do. We ghost hunt. This is all about the ghost lore. Yeah, actually, that's a really good concept for this sort of game too, because there's a few horror titles we've played with full ghost type stuff in this. Actually, like a very similar region area too. Seems to be a big thing culturally that they use in games. Kind of a neat setup and scenario there. Huh. There's also combo skill elements as well, so you can create some combos if you'd like to go and do that. Kind of neat. One tonic. Yes, thank you. A chili, right. And if you got food too. Yeah, there's definitely something interesting about the regions that love throwing intensive food into their games. It's always funny. Let me get from the chest, nice. Yeah, I do wish the pickup was a little bit more streamlined for items and stuff. I don't know what it is. It works in other games. They're similar to those pickups, and this one it just seems a little strange, because I had to really sit there when I first was doing it for the glyph selection. I was just like, I don't seem to pick this up quite right, or as easily as I need to grab it and run or something. A Pokong. Huh. Level up, nice. That way we can continue to do more damage. Chicken! Yeah, I like this. The environments are actually, like, really kind of deeply detailed, too. As much as, like, the pixel aesthetic kind of gets detailed, it works for it. It really does. And it's this nice mix of, like, sort of common countryside, and then also, you know, civilization and buildings and farms, and it works out. Well, you know, like I said, there's different types of environment, but just, like, regionally, it's kind of a cool mix that you don't really see in this type of genre of game. Usually it's these really destroyed areas, there's spooky dark forests, and yeah, it's a very, very different vibe. Or you know, you're going through towns, but the towns are like these very ye olde environments, and so you get what I mean? That sort of thing is always the case. It's like a darkened town where nothing's gone right. Everyone's like, what's happening in this town? I don't know if mana points are super helpful, but health points definitely are. 26 to 34. 3 health points per second. So that infuses on them. Oh, I get this. So this is a glyph bonus, so you can... Alrighty. Yeah, that's good. And you use the glyph bonuses on that stuff. Good, good, good. It's like a lot of setup. It'd be very hard to do this on the fly. Skill charges. Is that better? 36 to 60. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that that is a better weapon, right? This is a fun weapon. Yeah, I always like that in these games too, the wide variety of different weapons you get that have different like attack styles and sort of looks and aesthetics to them. Are they hiding in the forest? Get out here, guys. Oh, we've got some heavy rain going on. What are we going to do? Yeah, this is a really lovely, quaint environment. You know, we've got all the boars. Is he like piercing vampire or something? A lightning juggernaut. Going through these healing canisters like candy, eh? Nice little ones. We gather all the coins and stuff. Where is our targeted goal for this area? Yeah, actually, I quite like this one. This is a very quirky, cool kind of thing. Very nice. So they're like ghost type things, they're like zombies or like scarecrow hats. They're kind of creepy looking, right? Really unsettling different types of creatures from this region. Other things look sort of like impish golems. They're terrifying. There's a lot of enemies. I could definitely see this being a lot easier if you were going at it from the cooperative angle, right? Just getting a few people together locally. It actually would be a really pleasant local sort of battle thing. Yeah, if you had a group that was interested in that sort of thing. Blessing of Rage, that's what I'm talking about. Unleash the anger within. If only there was a boss nearby. Yeah, this is the boss I was looking for. A little overfilled on my inventory. Time to start equipping some of these glyphs. Lots of minion points, but I'm not sure how minion points is gonna help me a whole lot. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather collect all this stuff and then sort it out later. This inventory fill up is so fast. Just don't have enough space to do stuff. Compound. Well, sorry, I gotta You gotta, like, really set up your grouped sort of things better, don't you? Ugh.